Hey guys, it's been a little while since I've been on. It's been about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. And life has just kind of gotten in the way. I'm still pregnant, which is an absolute blessing. Things has kind of took a turn a little bit. I think I mentioned before I was being tested for gestational diabetes and everything, and I barely passed. They said I had like borderline gestational diabetes, and just to monitor it by my diet and just like, pricking my finger every day, that sort of thing. And so that's what I've been doing, and my numbers are almost normal. And now they're saying I don't have it. So, um, I don't know what's going on for sure um, yet, but it really doesn't matter because I don't have much longer left. Um, I am 34 weeks and 1 day today, um, and I'm not supposed to go past 37 weeks. I'm starting to see signs of my body preparing. Um, I don't really want to go into all the gross details, but if you're a woman, you know of some of the first signs. And let's see, I've had some issues this past week. I've been to labor and delivery twice, admitted once, and then released, and then admitted for just observation and then released the second time. First time, I think they thought they was going to keep me, and then they ended up sending me home. Um, so I developed preeclampsia again. My last pregnancy, I had preeclampsia and had to deliver our daughter through C-section at 24 weeks, and she passed away 2 weeks later. I'm at 34 weeks now and just starting to get preeclampsia. With our daughter last year, I had severe preeclampsia. So by the time we even found out that I had it, it was pretty much too late for medications to even help or work. And I was in the hospital for a week before my C-section happened. We was trying to keep her in there as long as possible. They tried everything to keep my blood pressure down, and it just wasn't working. So I have just the start of preeclampsia right now. And so they put me on the beta law. I was on that with my last pregnancy um, while I was in the hospital. And then after I had her, um, I had a little bit issues where my blood pressure would go down super low. Um, and then it would spike back up. So I had to get a blood pressure cuff and just monitor it. And it was crazy. Like, I think it was like 2 days after my C-section. Last time I was taking a shower and my husband was helping me, and I was like, I'm gonna pass out. I want to pass out. And like they had to get a nurse, and my mom was in there, and they had got me to the bed. By the time they got me to the bed, my blood pressure was, I can't even remember. It was super low. It was like, I think it was 70 something over 50 or something like that. It was super low. And I thought I was going to pass out. Um, I think that's like the lowest it's been. Um, but in this pregnancy, my blood pressure is not super high, but it's high. And then so they put me on labetalol, and it's been pretty good. It's been in somewhat the normal range towards the borderline high. Um, but it's a lot better than what it was when I was pregnant with Ember last year. Um, so I just need to make it a couple more weeks and we're pretty much good to go. I think I mentioned before where um, the doctors messed up my due date. basically saying I wasn't pregnant when I found out I was pregnant. Um, don't make no sense. But it's not just me. This doctor's office has been really wonky lately, and there's been a few of my friends that goes to it, and they had the exact same issues. And um, so it's not just me, and it's not in my head. It's true. It's real. So according to my period, I'm 34 weeks and 1 day. According to them, I'll be 33 weeks on Tuesday, and today is Saturday night. It's Saturday night right now. So, um, it's definitely off. Um, like, they said that I wasn't even pregnant yet when I found out I was pregnant with a clear blue digital test. And then I went in a few days later for a beta HCG test, and they still said I wasn't pregnant yet. So none of it makes sense. They look at me like I'm crazy when I'm like, no, that's not right. And now they said there's some kind of a new chart that they have to go on. And I have no idea what the new chart is, but it doesn't make any sense. Um, or new guidelines or whatever. There's something new that they have to go by now. And it's not accurate and it's not right. And they keep saying that baby girl is too big, saying she's um, bigger than what she's supposed to be. But from everything I've read, she's pretty much close to where she should be according to my period. So I don't know. Anyways, she was 6 pounds and 3 ounces last week, which it's a big baby. I'm okay with that. And they can be off. The ultrasounds is not always right. Some people says they're never right, but there has been people that says they're right on. But I know with Ember, it was off about almost 13 ounces. It was saying that she weighed 13 ounces more than what she really was when she was born. Like, had an ultrasound a day before she was born, and it says she weighed 13 ounces more, and she was only a pound, 1.06 pounds. So knowing that I have a bigger baby, even if it is off, like she was 6 pounds 3 ounces last week. I'm getting ready to have another ultrasound Tuesday, and they say they gain about half a pound a week, and that's pretty much what this baby has been gaining. And so I'm expecting her to be closer to 7 pounds of their estimate. But I know that could be off by even up to 2 pounds. So she could be 4, 5, 6 pounds if she is born the next week. But hopefully she stays in there a little longer, because I really don't want to be in the NICU at all. Like, at all, at all. So I'm really hoping that we can get to the point where she's breathing on her own and she's eating on her own and she's keeping her body temperature, where she does not need to be in the NICU at all. We've just lived that life, and I just don't want, I don't want to be in there at all. It's one thing if she has to be in there for like 24 hours or something, because I have to be in the hospital for, 3 or 4 days because I'm having a C-section. But I just don't want to have to be in the NICU again, because it's just, it'll be hard on me, like bringing up memories um, and just, yeah, I just don't know if I can handle it emotionally. But I am on kind of like bed rest. Not like complete bed rest, but like mostly bed rest. Sorry, I got bad indigestion. That's what I'm trying to set up. So anyways, we are pretty much ready for baby now. We got everything ready. Car seat in the car. A suitcase is packed because we just don't know when. Like this past week, we thought that's when it was going to be. Um, they was talking about like, well, they did admit me, but they was talking about admitting me and just keeping me in there until the baby is born and trying to keep her in there. They was talking about keeping me in there for 2 weeks and then having a C-section. But now they're going to try to have me monitor everything on my own at home. And then I have more appointments. So I got an appointment Monday, Tuesday, and then I go back in Saturday for observation and a non-stress test. And get kind of is getting down to how the appointments go and how everything goes if I'm going to get admitted or not. Like I can go in for the non-stress test and they just admit me. Um, so it's kind of like at a waiting game. I never got a chance to schedule my C-section. There's been a lot of issues with my doctor's office. One doctor's pretty much almost quit. He's only in there 3 hours a week, and he's like on one of the lead of the hospital. Like he's on the board and he's chief of medicine or something like that, and a bunch of other stuff. So he's barely in the office anymore. He still does deliveries and C-sections like normal. He was actually my on-call doctor when I went in for observation the other day, and he's one of the ones I like the best, but he's never in the office. And then there was another doctor that is no longer in the practice. All of a sudden, like we don't know if he got fired or if he quit or what happened, but he's no longer there. So there's only one doctor in the office with 10 midwives. And midwives can't do anything for you when you're having a C-section. So they said I can't schedule C-section with them, and they've been having me see nothing but midwives because there's only one doctor in there. For the routine visits, they're just having people see the midwives. So I get to see a midwife on Monday. So I haven't been able to schedule uh, a C-section. But my next appointment, if I make it to my next appointment with the gynecologist's office, I'm going to try to get scheduled with that doctor so I can get the C-section scheduled, but I don't think it's going to make it to that point. I think it's just going to be one of those emergency things, or they're going to admit me to the hospital, and then it's just going to be bam, kind of thing. But at this point, it's good. Like, even if she is born now, like she may be in the NICU for a couple weeks or a few weeks, but is looking much better. My biggest fear is having a ventilator or like the tube down the throat, because that's pretty much what killed our daughter last year. She was premature and her lungs wasn't developed, but the tube ruptured her lungs and the air went to her brain. So it's just one of my biggest fears of having that tube down baby's throat, and into the lungs. I just can't do that anymore. I can't, I just can't do it. So that's my biggest fear. But I think if she's born at this point, I don't think that she would have that. From what I've read, that she would have like the nasal cannula or the CPAP or whatever if she needed air. But I do know with the ultrasound I had this past Tuesday, everything looked great. Like she was practicing breathing really good. Like they said that she looks like she's ready for the outside world, like that type of breathing. You can see her diaphragm moving and her lungs expanding and all that stuff happening. And so that was really really exciting to see, because we never got a chance to get that far with Ember. So we are definitely feeling confident now. If something did happen, she would be in the NICU. We don't want that. We're trying to avoid that, but it's a lot better. Like scale, if you if you look at it as scale, it's like a lot better scale, like to look at, and we feel much more confident if she was born now. So we're all ready for her. And we're just playing the waiting game right now. I did go get a COVID test just in case she's born in the next 14 days. That will be done. So I'm waiting on that. And waiting for those results. And yeah, so I just want to give you guys an update. It's a little bit longer than I expected, but um, yeah, it's life has kind of just caught up to us, and a lot going on, a lot of little scares that we've had, and I haven't been very pain. I've been in a lot of pain. My C-section scar, because I had a classical C-section with Ember, um, where they cut like the bikini line horizontal, and then on the inside of my uterus, they did the vertical incision, and that vertical incision on the inside has been feeling like it's tearing open. Feels like it's stabbing pain sometimes. Sometimes it's burning. Sometimes it just feels like it's ripping apart, and it hurts so much. But every doctor and nurse I've talked to says normal. So it's just getting worse. So I've had that, a lot of pressure and pain in my pelvic area, and feels like all my bones is crushing. I keep explaining it to the doctors and stuff that it feels like somebody has kicked me down there like a million times. It's the best way I can explain it. And I can no longer walk in big stores. I tried that in Walmart, and it took me 2.5 hours to get like 4 bags of groceries. I could barely walk. I was in so much pain. But that day also, while I was at Walmart, I could literally feel my belly drop, and my stomach has dropped. The hospital confirmed it, that I'm dropped. Yeah, so I've dropped, and I've lost I'm losing my plug. I don't think I've lost all of it. I'm sure there's more, because I lost my plug with Ember after I had a C-section with her, and then it came out. So it's not as much as that yet. So I kind of know what to look for, but it's starting to come out. And I would say maybe close to half of it has come out now, maybe. So I'm just waiting for the rest of that to come out. But yeah, it's definitely, my body is definitely preparing. And yeah, so it can pretty much happen at any time. Our goal is to get uh, to Tuesday of hold on. Not this coming Tuesday, but the Tuesday after is our goal to get to that, or any time after. So that's the doctor's goal. That's our goal. And so we'll just see what happens, see how my blood pressure is, and see how everything else is, and if my body tries to go in labor, because that's their biggest concern right now, is me going into premature labor, because I guess I'm high risk at going into premature labor, and my body seems to be gearing up for it now. So I've had a few strong contractions, but they're not consistent. The most consistent was 2 strong ones within an hour and a half of each other. So it wasn't within an hour. And then they just went away, and I haven't had one since. Well, yeah, I did. I had a smaller one since, but not many. But anyways, I just wanted to go over that with you really quick. It's a little bit longer than I expected, but I wanted to share that with you. Hopefully, I'll be able to give another update before she's born. But if not, the next update will be when she's born, to tell you all about the birth and everything, and hopefully be able to show you guys her. All right, see you guys later. Bye.